It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, friends. Welcome to your Thursday. It's May 16th, and we are starting the day with temperatures in the 60s, and we had some rain and storm activity on the radar overnight. Hopefully that didn't keep you up too much late last night with some of the thunderstorms out there, but additional thunderstorms are possible through the morning. Morning commute may be a wet one, and there's even a small chance that some of these storms could be on the strong side. Gusty winds and hail to the size of quarters. Those are the concerns as we head into the rest of the day on your Thursday. We are mentioned in a marginal threat for severe weather. So it doesn't mean that every storm on the radar is going to reach severe limits, but what it does mean is that severe storms are possible today. And again, I think the biggest risks here are going to be for hail and high wind. Rain returns though, and that's a headline. It's not going anywhere for us until we get to Thursday. Not to say we won't have dry time today. I think we have a good stretch of dry time in the forecast that mainly happens through the mid-morning and early afternoon hours. Additional isolated thunderstorms are possible this afternoon, and those also have a chance to being a bit on the strong side. But showers and thunderstorms are in the forecast today, and that's going to limit our high temperature a bit. It's a widespread area today, expecting some rain and thunderstorm activity. But the real focus of the heavy downpours, the flash flooding threat is well to our southwest for portions of East Texas. That's also where the greater risk of severe weather is today, and that extends up into portions of southern Oklahoma. A few strong storms are possible, as I mentioned, and localized flooding has been on our minds the last couple of weeks. We've been oversaturated with round after round of rainfall in the forecast. And of course, this one's adding to in the rain gauge. Some nice rainfall totals from the overnight hours. In fact, near an inch reported west of the Springfield area. I think by the time we add up all these totals, I'm expecting an inch and a half. That's through tomorrow with some of the rain chances that do exist. So showers and thunderstorms, they continue through Friday. I have additional chances for rainfall of about an inch. That's on top of what we've already seen. There will be a risk for some localized flooding. I think that primarily is going to exist out west along I-49. That's where totals are amounting to 2 or 3 inches when you add up what happened last night, the rest of this afternoon, and then Friday's activity as well. But again, a widespread soaking downpour. This is going to mean that some of our area water levels are going to be high as we head into the weekend. Speaking of the weekend temperatures, they look nice. We'll be back into the 80s and we'll have some dry time. So I think a lot of folks will want to do some outdoor activities in the Ozarks. We have near record breaking heat in the forecast by Monday. It is going to be nice and toasty around the Ozarks by the time we get to early next week. In fact, we'll push 90 as early as Monday. So a little heat wave for us here in the middle part of the country too. As I mentioned, temperatures this morning are starting out in the low 60s for us in Springfield. High temp today, about 75 degrees. There will be a few folks that make it to the low 80s, and that's if you get a lot of dry time through the middle of the day. Sun may come back out as we head into the afternoon hours. It'll lead to some afternoon heating. That could spark some of those isolated strong thunderstorms again, and then we should see rain again in the forecast, perhaps morning rain again on Friday with temperatures that are limited into the upper 60s. By Saturday and Sunday, though, we're off back into the 80s. I can't completely rule out isolated storms through the weekend, but I don't think that's anything to cancel plans over. I'm talking like a 10% chance for rain, both Saturday and Sunday. It's just mainly going to be those summertime pop-up style thunderstorms. Around the country, what's making headline, hazardous heat for portions of South Florida and South Texas. They are getting summer started early down south. We also have flash flooding for portions of East Texas and portions of Louisiana today. In fact, the Gulf Coast going to see some strong to severe thunderstorms. That is actually going to last into Friday of this week. So keep in mind, there's still going to be the opportunity for some widespread severe weather in the country, most of that focused on the Gulf states. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question for the day. This one has to do with the Grand Slams. It's the question that I left you with yesterday. In tennis, which Grand Slam event starts in late May? The options were A, the Australian Open, B, the French Open, C, Wimbledon, or D, US Open. And the answer is B, the French Open. That's what begins May 20th and runs through June 9th. All you tennis fans are well aware of that. It has won a B4 Grand Slams. So all eyes on France and Paris for the French Open. All right, here's the next question. This is the one I'll leave you with for tomorrow. What is the name of the pet dinosaur on the TV cartoon The Flintstones? Do you think it is A, Arlo, B, Dino, C, Fred, or D, Daniel? Let me know your guess. You can do that at aroundtheozarks.com. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. Everybody plan a few extra minutes this morning on that morning drive. We've got some thunderstorms out there, localized flash flooding possible. And this morning round may not be it. We get a bit of a lull in the afternoon. Redevelopment happens by the time we get to later today. Isolated storms still in the forecast. So have the rain gear with you. I'm meteorologist Abby Dyer. Thanks to Rescue Towing and Scooters Coffee for sponsoring the podcast. And thank you for listening. We'll chat again early Friday morning. Talk rain chances again to wrap up the week.